the typical derby in the beginning, with both teams trying to settle down as soon as possible, with some mistakes, accidents, I would say. The first actions, I think there's an action after 3 minutes that Zico is doing a key save against Modi, if I'm not wrong. A little bit unstable in the beginning of the match, which is normal in this type of atmosphere. A lot of players in both sides, I think, playing the Soweto derby for the first time, and it's not an easy thing. I think little by little we work hard to put the game in the scenario that we wanted, which is more in control, not running so much in transitions in the first half. We didn't have so many problems to control their build-up. With small things to correct in halftime, and I think the second half was slow the beginning, but I think we play a good second half overall. We control the game. We have clear chances. We have more attempts to the box. I remember one action, one cross from the left that the ball was flying there close to our box, but nothing else like dangerous, let's say. And I think when the game was about to die, we got a penalty and we put the ball in the net. And I'm quite convinced about the fairness of the result. Important 3 points in order to continue in a positive space and with all the options still in our own race.
And we'll now open the questions from the phone, and then questions from Coach, Coach please, and now ask that you raise your hand so that we can get that is in his room. So do we have any questions for the Coach? Or we can just finish it record time. It is rather hard. Any questions? The ones? Take that back. That one? Thank you.
Coach, over here, please. Did you feel Kaizer Chiefs were a little bit scared of you in their approach? They didn't use any flying fullbacks, for example. Maybe the midfielders were a little bit more defensive than some of the other players. When you look at the team sheet, you think these guys are a bit scared of us?
No, I'm not going to say such a thing.
Great headline.
It could be, Mark, a big one. Imagine. No, I mean, actually, when we have the opportunity to have a look of the start 11, on paper it looks quite a start 11 quite capable to keep periods of possession also against us, with the presence of Zwane in the start 11. It's difficult to predict right now the intention of Kaizer Chiefs. We were obviously doing our job, and it's a team that, for many different reasons, was looking, and I think still looking for the best shape for them, the best players, especially in the left hand side. So we knew that the start 11 will tell us some things about the intention of the coach for this game, and it's true that TT and Blom were not really deep in the sides, but with players like Modi, even Shabalala, Ranga is a player that can stretch your last line as well. But I think we nullify quite okay their intentions to play from second balls. They were trying to play not leaving CBC and Pepe without reference, pinning our fullbacks with Modi and Shabalala, and dropping with Ranga and with Tlu. Yeah, not Tlu. Sorry. forcing Pepe or CB all the time to step a little bit far from the last line. It was not easy to defend that action. I think it was well elaborated and it gave us a little bit of problems in the first half. But again, it's not easy to play against Pirates right now for anyone. And I think, like I said before in the introduction, that little by little we managed to put the game in the spaces where we like to spend the time, and it wasn't easy for Chiefs to manage to get the initiative. Then with the subs, with the introduction of Cirino, Obrigado, with Yusuf as well, I think they got a little bit more of quality and pace in the last meters, but still, I think we managed to impose ourselves for the most of the minutes.
Coach, what was the win like?
For me, the result is an extra all the time. You play and you train to. It's a cliche, it's a topic, but it's the truth. You play to deserve to win all the time, and I think Pirates deserve to win. But it could easily be a nil-nil. Let's be honest. The game was about to finish. It could be easily a nil-nil. So the confidence for me is the performance. Is that even if without that penalty, without the Tito's goal, confidence will still like untouchable, from my perspective, because we deserve to win in a difficult scenario. It's difficult to play these derbies, like I said, for both sides. A lot of players experiencing his first derby. Some of them they were before, but not in the start 11. So the result is an extra boost. Obviously, we are all so happy. We feel a release because we know how many supporters, how many people all around the continent, all around the country are going to be so happy tonight because of these boys. But the hope and the confidence is coming from the way that we are working.
Coach, you arrived in South Africa, doing your team a great job, closing the gap to one of the Sundowns.
Thank you.
You're playing them soon, and no doubt when that fixture happens, very intense. But from your experience in South Africa, your conversations with the players, and experience of a fixture like this, do you think it's fair to say that regardless of what Soweto Derby will always
Absolutely, I think there's unique components around this game that for me are second to none. No, even if we're gonna play very key games, hopefully, we need to keep this rhythm if we want to have those key games in the last part of the season. There's coming, hopefully, one more time, big events, big fixtures for us in the Champions League, in the Netbank. Why not in the league as well? But this is something special. I don't know how to describe. Imagine for the people that we are living these situations in first person. What the people express to you in your neighborhood, in the supermarket, wherever you go about this game. They don't see any other game. It's still they're talking to me about this game since 6 weeks ago. There's nothing in the middle. The history of both clubs, the history of Soweto, the way that the role, I will say, I'm not gonna pretend here to be an expert on this, but the role that the football play in your history, it's going beyond the meaning of a sport itself, a game. You understand what I mean? And I think these two clubs have an important role in that history, and it's a beautiful event. Is something that I've been here for once, even if it's as an spectator, you have to feel grateful, have the opportunity, like people like me, to be part of this show. This is my 6th derby, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I feel more than grateful. And like I said, just to finalize the question, I think we will hopefully we will play for big things sooner than later. But the derby is for me is eating in a different table.
The halftime change, was it tactical or was it something that was technical? What do you see game that
I think Muhao was doing a good job with TT trying to find himself in 1v1 situations is where he can be stronger than I will say TT, not because we are friends, okay, but the name is quite complicated for me. Dick Klopp, you know. It sounds like I think that TT was doing a good job with Muhao. He kept him quite under control, and even then we have a problem in the build-up to try to deal with the last line of Chiefs. They play quite high with the last line, and if you remember the first half, we were playing too much from Chaine, from Pepe, straight long balls with Chejo, with Relan, with Encota. We were missing to have at least one more pass inside the structure. So we changed a little bit our setup to have one more player in the central corridor with KB and with Tito, and try to have Dino slightly higher on the field, doing not exactly Encota role, but something similar to try to get, like I said, one more pass in those spaces and then try to run the last line of Chiefs with a little bit more of advantage, because we didn't create any problem to them in the first half with those balls from Sipo and from Pepe, more than sometimes collecting the second ball and progress from there, but not exactly the way we wanted to do it.
She made it rather hard to break them down and point. So what
Many. The one that I explained already, it was the first one. Then Chejo was again tactically was excellent today. I think if you look the game, if you watch the game again, we got a lot of chances in transitions, in actions that we stole the ball in their own half, and Chejo was playing an important role in the pressing that we were doing today. He got a little bit tired and also a yellow card there in the end. So we look for freshness with evidence, and in the end we try to play the last 10, 12 minutes with Shandu like a winger more than a fullback, taking a little bit more of risk with Bandile in the last line and with Dion. And I think even after 90 minutes in the extra time, we managed to get a couple of decent chances there. And yeah, due to that way to insist and try to fight until the last minute, we got that penalty as well. So we got the result. So it seems that everything went right with the subs and stuff. But again, I think it was the final product of a lot of fight from the guys since the first minute. From the first minute.
the follow-up questions for the men? Who hasn't had a chance to ask yet? Yeah. You had a chance to ask? Okay, seeing that they're confused. It's easy and we get you guys to follow up. Guys who choose already had a chance to get it done. Already doing 25 minutes. So these are the follow-up to the questions. Please. Follow up to the questions. Okay.
Coach, how massive was Makaula for you in that field today? He seemed to be all over the park, so energetic, deserving man of the match. And then also the penalty, coach, what goes through your mind? You look at the context of it, see what happens. Everyone holds their breath in the stadium, 90,000 people. He missed one in his last game and then you don't do that. Just go. Thoughts on it?
About Makaula, well, I think his performance speaks about the moment that he's going through. It's been. I'm sorry, I don't speak about individuals. Why? you see, you get a derby and. No, again, I think his performance is talking volumes about yeah. He's a proper professional. Imagine, and you can imagine he's working so hard. He's pushing himself and everybody around to have this mentality that is taking us to the space where we are right now. And he was a crucial part. And the penalty. Look, I don't, not because I don't trust the players, but I don't used to look to the penalties. It's like too much for me sometimes to be sitting there and trying to anticipate what's going to happen. But this time, and this is not, I'm not just trying to be cocky. I knew. Just leave it there. I knew. I just leave it there. I knew. So I knew that if something happened like this, he's gonna take the ball because as much as people sometimes wants to be critic with Patrick, for me, from coaching perspective, give me players that they always wants to be on the ball in situations like this, in games like today, when the things are not going well. He always wants the ball, and he's making mistakes because he's putting himself on the line all the time. So we're blessed to have a player like him around. And as much as sometimes he's doing things that are not easy to understand, I do, and I want him to be himself on the field because that's the way that we can also get the best part of Patrick in each and every game. And I think today he showed that he has that kind of personality to ask for those moments when the situation is crucial, is critical, and is not easy to take. And there's not many personalities like that, or you don't have the opportunity to work with personalities like that frequently. So yeah, obviously, if it's not going well, it's going to be another discussion, But again, happy for him to, after what happened in Cape Town, to get the responsibility today in a scenario like this one, 94 minutes. So yeah, fantastic mentality. Sure.
Quick answer is what did he sell out to play on Wednesday? What did he sell out to play on Wednesday?
Ladisa, Lejo.
Yes. Some clubs are
Okay,
some
Sekupune.
clubs
As far as I know, you catch me now, Mark. With
don't need to.
as far as I know, he can play. There was a case, I think, last season with somebody else, and I'm not sure now. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask you. It was a long week. Sorry. sorry, Mark.
It's kind of to trouble you from YouTube for sport. Coach, you generally underscore the nature of results in the same way you do like harping up on performance of players. But in the context of what is clearly becoming a reference towards the end of the season, how significant is this win considering that it was a scrappy derby, but everybody was producing at the end of the day?
How important? It's a again, even though I think the result is fair, is a reflection of both performances, in my opinion. Was not a 5-0 performance, but I think that Pirates was better on the day. It's a 0-0 game. The game should have finished 0-0. So getting, I mean, without that penalty, which I think is, I didn't see the penalty yet, but I think that from the bench looks like 2 penalties actually, from the defender and the goalkeeper. But anyway, one more time, if we want to call ourselves league contender in South Africa in PSL, you know that you have to go maybe over 70 points, perhaps, or how many last season they got? You remember? 72, right? So any team who wants to be a league contender in PSL must understand that you cannot give away so many points. Even though we play in FNB, this is a home game for us. So the home games are going to play a very important role in that race. So it's a massive victory today. Plus all the emotional components and confidence and energy and all of these things. But again, we're going to Polokwane on Wednesday, and the price is the same. It's 3 points. Massive.